Welcome everyone to this live showdown between the Vampire Coast and the Lizardmen. So I was actually just jumping into a quick battle and I ran into my good friend Flying Taco and I was like, why not? Let's record this, let's have some fun and see how we can do. Now, as far as the build goes, we do of course have Count Noctiluss on foot, a very good durable option against lizards. He has anti-large, he has armor piercing, he's got his halberd, and of course he has a lot of summons. So as the lizards swarm you with Saurus and skinks and all sorts of fun stuff, he's going to be able to kind of buffer your army and keep things functioning relatively well. So in the front, it's going to be deckhand mobs. We've got halberds as well. One wild bomber pick in there. I always do badly with them, but I just want to make it work. And I feel like they're pretty good against Saurus and Skink battle lines. So we'll see how it functions. On top of that, we have two Depth Guard as well. Depth Guard, of course, very good at buzzsawing through not all the lizard infantry, but again, they're very good against Saurus, very good against Skinks, and they pay their dues. I really like to use them as a backline sweeper. So, as your front line crumbles and things start to saturate into your backline, you then use the Depth Guard to just come up and, do a little bit of sweeping, getting them lizards out of the backline, and from there you fall back and use them very defensively. We have two of the gunnery mobs. It might be a little bit of overkill because our gun line's pretty big, and if he swarms really effectively, I don't know if I'm going to be able to protect everything, but I think so with the two Depth Guard plus Noctiluss summons. Who knows? We'll find out. We do also have the Gallows Giant, the Necrofex Colossus, and this guy is a bit of an X-Factor pick here. I figure he has good AP. He has Discourage, so if I'm being swarmed by low-tier infantry or mid-tier infantry, he'll be good against them. I'm not really too concerned about using his ranged flamethrower. Granted, we will if we get the opportunity, but mainly he's kind of a discouraging unit. You run through the front lines, you break things, and again, he helps secure your position and stabilize your gun line. Two cannons, of course, against the dinos and bigger threats. We got one Scurvy Dog just for battlefield control and to chase skinks, and then also one Fellbat just in case he has Pterodon Riders. I think I'm kind of covered against Pterodon Riders, though, with the gunnery mobs. Like, they should put some hurt on those things. Granted, maybe going for a second Fellbat instead of the Scurvy Doggo might be better. I think that might be the case. Or we could even get, Deck Dropper or something like that. Granted, the Deck Dropper won't be as efficient at swarming. So if we do that, and then I think we can cut this. Now, we can't quite get enough to get that second. Oh, man, we almost forgot the Rot's Moondile. That would have been really bad, because that's, one of the main reasons you take Noctiluss. So I'm going to go to my Coast build here. Coast versus Lizardmen, and update that, and we're good. All right. He says he's trying something fancy. Good. Something new and cunning. Well, that's how innovation is done, right? You got to try new stuff. I'm working on putting together a bunch of Vampire Coast builds. And rather than doing a huge, guide, I might just do a build list. So maybe make a shorter video with all the builds. I've been fine tuning them. I have the Dark Elf build pretty well ironed out. Got to work on some other ones. So this is actually quite helpful for that. So Warpstone Mine has some really good natural chokes. You can see here there's these weird little rock faces. And the lizards, I guess if he brought 3 laser dinos, he could force me out. But for the most part with 2 cannons, I should be the one kind of taking the defensive position and forcing him to come. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This natural choke right here is really, really nice. Some light blockage for sure, and he could go for a mass vanguard. I'd like some battling in the valley here. Granted, if we fight in the valley, my guns won't be as optimal. So there's some give and take there. So let's go ahead and take up this position. It's relatively decent, I think. So we'll get these guys, these deckhand mobs in the front. Although we do have this ravine here, so we don't necessarily need to do that. And we got to make sure our cannons are up on the high ground as well. Yeah, that little ravine is actually kind of good for him. He can hide dinos in there and duck in there pretty often. So if I take refuge back here on this hill, he'll eventually have to come forward. If I'm back up on this position, but then he has the tree line here in the middle with which he can work. So if we do this and this, that's pretty good range. It's a small map actually. So I think we'll do this instead to put a little bit more separation between those units. And then we can get the deckhand mobs in the front. Boom, boom. It does take away that nice edge we had in that other deployment zone. And if we need to, if he swarms around here, we can always move. This is a nice little hill though. I feel like it's pretty far back. That's kind of the main point of that whole thing, right? So we'll put a halberd unit back here for now. We can probably just have one. Keep one relatively close by. The hard knock life is going to be with the main formation. The bombers as well will be here. The bombers, if anything, are a bit of a distraction, right? Your opponent kind of has to deal with them or else they do a bunch of damage. Now we have the Depth Guard. I always like to hide one Depth Guard kind of behind things. Unfortunately, that tree line is so pathetic that I don't think we're going to be able to hide anything. So we'll just have one group of actual Depth Guard back here just kind of waiting. The other one is going to be in the front, so just kind of a sweeper unit like I said. And this other halberd can be on the weak side of the formation here. So we may need to rotate over this way if he tries to swarm around that angle. Gallows Giant's going to be in a separate control group. Cannons can be in 3. Of course, you want to put most of your missiles in guard mode to make sure they don't overextend. These guys are in guard mode. You're in guard mode. These guys are in guard mode. Good. Everything looks solid there. Halberds are here, and now we can get the Fellbats in 4 and 5 there. So one Fellbat can go here, one can go right here. I'm not sure which direction he's going to opt to take. We, of course, have the Colossus back here who can, push things off pretty easily. And if we need to, I foresee there's going to be, like, some Pterodon riders, like an Air Force. Ready! Good luck, have fun, brother. Let's do it to it. Little does he know I'm recording. It's a little bit trickier to play. I'm pretty used to recording while I play. It was one of the early things I did on my channel quite a bit. So first things first, let's look around for, like, sneaky traps. Doesn't look like there's too many. So I had a knocking suspicion there was going to be an Air Force. That's actually kind of scary. Well, thankfully the Gallows Giant can do some work, and the Fellbats are quite a good pick here as well. So basically we just shoot the Ripperdactyl swarms, and Depth Guard are going to be kind of ready to peel. These guys are ready to peel as well. And it looks like he will be taking the engagement here, so let's get them ready to shoot. And yeah, I mean, basically we just kind of hope our cannons can knock out some Rippers before they get too close. Shoot those guys if we can. These guys, we'll just let them shoot whatever they can here. Hopefully we'll turn about, face there, get some Fellbats nearby, pull Noctilus over to this fight. And I think we can pull the Colossus up here. Do a little bit of poking and doing it. So we definitely want to shoot the Rippers. Those ones are taking a lot of damage. The Pterodon Riders aren't as much of an issue. So let's go ahead and square up. Yeah, looks like Mazdamundi has a pretty scary little goon squad. I'm going to pull these guys back a little bit. And I think I have some Fellbats who got engaged on. No, not yet. Okay. So the Ripperdactyl's taking casualties. The longer that goes, the better. We'll send those bats after those guys and just kind of get ready and posture up in this position here. Halberds can come over here. We have the Colossus kind of lurking there as well. Depth Guard will make sure that things don't get too ugly there. And it looks like there are some Croc scores coming out of the tree line, so the Croc scores will actually be a bit of a threat here. Pull forward some Depth Guard to help clear out the chaff a little bit quicker. Bomber units can go attack there. Gallows Giant, yeah, Gallows Giant should be more like engaged in a melee engagement here. Noctilus can go help this engagement here, so we got some dinos coming in. Noctilus is going to be pretty good against the beasties there. And yeah, everything's going relatively to code. It looks like Ripperdactyl's going in here. And yeah, that's a bit of an unfortunate situation. Granted, Depth Guard will still do okay against them. And Ripperdactyl's coming overhead here. Let's get these guns shooting up here. And he's going to drop some rocks. So we'll ditch the cruise, basically. We're going to get the cruise off there. And it looks like we were actually able to dodge that relatively decently. Let's get the Fellbats going after the Powhawks with Sentinels. And Depth Guard are in a losing fight here, for sure. Noctilus in a scary situation as well, so we're going to drop some summons there. Pop Arcane Conduit. Get these guys going here. Pull these guns back here. And now we can get these guys back on the cannon crews. And the Depth Guard, yeah, they got to stay there. Get these guys cannon bound again as well. So we get the Discouraged. Depth Guard are able to win that fight and do pretty well for themselves. Bomber's able to peel off a couple skinks. Let's go peel over here. And the cannon should be back online soon. Zombies aren't like super mobile, so it's a little bit tricky to kind of pull the schemes there. Is there anything we really need to heal? Yeah, we need to heal the Depth Guard. Unfortunately, the ones that are over here. Colossus, let's get him into combat here against these guys. Send Zombos here. Bombers can go against them. Put them in guard mode to make sure they carry out their orders. And now we have the cannons back online as well. So let's get the cannon shooting here if we can. You guys need to get back on your cannon piece. Let's pull you guys in to attack those Ripperdactyls. And we could start shooting the Slon. The Slon's actually a decent target as well. He's in open field. Let's go after him there. Pull some halberds to defend. Being very conservative with the Winds of Magic at the moment. We're going to summon some of them. Pull back the Depth Guard. Try and get a nice little tight fight there. And the Colossus is able to do well against the Croc scores. Let's pull it back here and have it like try and break them off. So use the zombie summons to target the Saurus while Noctilus kind of just shanks those guys. And Depth Guard, like, I mean, the thing about Ripperdactyls is they're very much glass cannons. So we should be able to potentially hurt those guys. Alright, Noctilus is in a bit of a scary situation, but we can use Roth's Moondial to get some bodies there to help out. We'll just keep shooting the cannons. Depth Guard need to get back here. We can't lose the skinks there. Really, really nice gank by my opponent. And the Necrofax Colossus seems to be doing pretty well, so let's go ahead and just get these guys in combat, get the gunnery mob, pull them back. Hopefully we can shoot at some point in the game. And Noctilus is going to have to drop a big, fat, juicy invo right now. Hopefully that hits himself. It should. Yeah, it does. Okay, great. Guns can shoot here. Get the Toad if we can. Looks like the Depth Guard are doing a really good job healing our back line. Shoot the Rippers right there. And get the Gallows Giant going down here as well. Alright, so we have some Croc scores coming back in. Let's go ahead and get some pot shots on those guys if we can. Noctilus and company are able to do well. Let's go ahead and drop the Wraith Storm on the Toad. He's a little bit of a slow target, and we have these guys. Do we have any Fellbats left? Looks like, yeah, we're probably not going to be able to hold our cannon pieces. There's just too much going on there. These bombers can go after the skinks here. Pull you guys back in to attack those guys. Depth Guard are at least making it difficult here. Noctilus kind of getting bullied by these two guys. Do I drop the Overcast here? I think it's not a bad idea, because then they can go and shoot the Toad and keep him from, rallying happily. So we got the summon here. The Toad's very low. Come on, finish him, finish him. If I lose Noctilus, at least if I get a Slon, I'll be happy with the situation. Depth Guard still defending the cannons, but we need to get them in a little bit quicker. Cannons now can start shooting at the bigger targets here. It looks like we've been able to win this flank pretty comfortably against the Croc scores. And the summon was able to shut those guys down. Great. All right, so we'll Wraith Storm them. It looks like it got interrupted last time. And Depth Guard are chewing through like all these different chaff units, but I'm also crumbling in that respect. Velbats, let's get you guys attacking as well. And good. So this whole formation is quite solid. We actually have 52 gunnery mobs here, so we'll get them shooting. Bombers can just throw out some of the swords here. And the Colossus needs to come in and clean things up. Man, he's able to get the Toad back. We need to finish that guy. So let's put them in guard mode here to make sure they keep shooting, despite the inclination to do otherwise. I think Wraith Storm, we keep getting knocked over. Let's get you guys in the Riperdactyls back there. Yeah, the cannons are offline, so there's no sense in really defending back here at this point. Granted, the gunnery mobs, let's shoot at those Rippers. Colossus is getting in there. A little bit of friendly fire coming in, which is fine. Well, those are actually Feral Stegodons. Interesting. Okay. So the Toad is very, very close to going down here. I'll Imbo on Noctilus again. And we'll drop a... I'm going to hold the summons until they land, and then we're going to drop it. Noctilus should be able to do pretty well with his halberds there. You guys going after there after the Croc scores. Bombs coming in once again. Come on. Come on, buddy. We need you to beat down that Stegodon if possible. Oh, the Toad's able to get away! The elusive Toad Beast! Depth Guard should be really, really good in these fights, too. I could, single target Imbo on Depth Guard I think is better. Thankfully, they're super good against Saurus. Alright, so that Stegodon's broken. There's no sense in chasing it, so we're going to bring the Colossus back here to try and do some work. Bombers, we have a little bit of ammo left. We can throw out some of these Saurus up here on the high ground. Noctil's still doing a great job, but he needs to finish that guy off. The fact that his Toad came back is pretty scary. Alright, so Coast is coming down here. Coast. That dude is. And the Bombers, we need to get you on some decent targets. These Depth Guard are done for. They're crumbling, so don't worry about it. Now we have the big old scary Colossus here, which does cause terror and also discourages. That's going to be quite useful. Now, we've been really conservative with our Winds of Magic. I think we got to start using summons. So we're going to summon right on top of the back of the Saurus. We do get a Rampage with the Bombers there, which is good. Croc scores are broken. Halberds can kind of square up here. Noctilus is in the danger zone, though. Those Feral Stegodons have a bonus for his infantry, which is really strong. He's also about to get a fat banishment back here. Noctilus actually has some room towards before his healing cap, so let's drop the Wraith Storm for the 100th time on that guy, see if we can finish him. Okay, Depth Guard are fighting hard. We need to have the Colossus. We might be able to get the Toad here. We hit him with a couple Wraith Storms. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be enough to finish him. Looks like Noctilus didn't get that Imbo on himself. He got, like, knocked over. So go here. Depth Guard, of course, are excellent at buzzsawing through Saurus. We need to finish these guys off. So we're going to group these guys in a group together so they do attack orders as one. And it looks like the Wraith Storm was able to slap the Toad. There's just so much stuff coming back in here. We need to finish off the Stegodons, because like with the Stegodons gone, Noctilus can tank everything. And the Discourage from the Flamethrower too is quite useful. A little bit apprehensive to Overcast. Rippers are coming back in. Do I use my last summon? I don't think so. All the birds are coming in. We were able to buzzsaw through that high ground engagement. Now there's another beastie coming in here. So let's get the deckhand mobs with polearms. I'd probably save for another big invo and try and invo up the Gallows Giant. I'm just going to do it, but I don't want to wait. I'm going to do it. Okay, so the Stegodons come in. We'll go here. Noctilus will engage here. Actually, Noctilus can go after this one. They can hit that one a little bit easier. Depth Guard's still going strong up there. Oh my god, what a game. What a game. Come on, Gallows Giant. Noctilus needs to put some moves, because that Stegodon's giving him the 1-2 Ramrod here. We need to get back here. Oh, fall back to the halberds. Noctilus is crumbling. He's crumbling. He's still fighting, though. Okay, we were able to get away from that. Oh, the Earthblood! That might pull the game back. Okay, we have an invo. If we can get one more summon off, I think we got this. Oh no, Gallows Giant is the only thing left. Okay, so thankfully we get the drop. The Gallows Giant is going to drop its payload here. This guy's wavering. I mean, the Gallows Giant can probably... The Stegodons are the big issue here, right? We still have our Flamethrower too. So that Stegodon's broken. These summon zombies can push. Can push. We need to keep whacking this one if we can. There you go. Just randomly whack some of your zombies. Perfect. We'll get the halberds back here helping out. And the summoned deckhand mobs can just sally forth and fight the skinks. Oh my god, this is such a great game. Come on, the leadership's keeping him going. This was a really crazy one. Alright, so we have the zombies fighting for a little bit longer. He's shaken. Well, we don't care about everything else here. We just need to finish off the feral. I can't believe it! He came back! These stegodons just wouldn't die! And yeah, the fact that we didn't kill the toad lost us the game. Oh, such good play. Such good stuff. Alright, so the Gallows Giant's gonna go here. Keep roasting. Maybe we get a mass terror out, but I don't know. The fact that we have that discourage thing is like pretty good here. In the terror routes. Stranger things have happened. As long as army losses doesn't kick in, it's certainly possible. The Saurus are all like in okay shape. We're at 1400 HP. This feral beast is wavering. This would be a wild one if we came back from this. Oh, we're taking so much damage. Oh no, army losses. Oh, and that thing broke too. Oh man. Well, I don't need to save that since we were live casting it. So well played. Oh man, he really came back from that. He did a really good job with those stegodons. The thing is, they're really cool against Noctilus, right? Because they have the bonus for his infantry. They have good AP. It was a wild one. Now, as far as my build goes, I think it was pretty good. I think it fought well. I'm trying to think of like big mistakes we made. We did good in the beginning poking these guys. We killed the Croxagores. Maybe letting Noctilus get isolated like that and just like maybe keeping the Colossus more towards the central fight would have been better. Yeah, and the cannons, what were the cannons shooting? Ripperdactyls, I guess. So our anti-large was going for the Rippers instead of the Stegodons. So maybe focusing the Stegodons is more important because Ripperdactyls like aren't as threatening as these things against Noctilus. Noctilus can probably handle those better. But yeah, that was an insanely good game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that live cast. That was a real like just back and forth barn burner. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. And hey, maybe I'll queue up again and find them and we can have another sweet live cast. We'll see. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this Vampire Coast vs. Lizardmen game. If you guys have any questions, of course, about the matchup and stuff like that, let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, well played to the Great Taco. We'll see you guys soon.